This is One on One, a program hosted by African Press International, where we discuss political and social issues that affect our lives. My guest today is the chairman of the Association of Kenyans in Norway, Mr. Fred Makosir. Fred, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Today in Norway, Kenyans are assembled with friends. It is the Madaraka Day celebrations. As their leader, talk about this day, what it means to you and other Kenyans, in short.
That's a long story. Madaraka Day is a very important day in the history of Kenya. That was the day we got our independence in 1963, on the 1st of June. It's a day that unites the nation. Kenya is, that's the definition of our independence. It's a very important day. And to me and all Kenyans in diaspora and Kenyans at home, it's a very important day and we celebrate it all over.
Looking at this day and its importance in the lives of Kenyans, and with the new dispensation brought about by the new constitution and the newly installed government, what can you say has changed and has impact in the lives of Kenyans in general?
You realize when we got our independence in 1963, Kenya was being run on a constitution that was not based on, developed by Kenyans. Yes. Now we have a Kenya run by our own constitution, based on our own laws and regulations. The new government, the devolved system that we are getting into, brings that independence even more closer to the people at home, so that we all have a voice to run the government through normal democratic systems. And this we have to develop. So it's very important for Kenya to cherish the freedom we have today and the peace that is within our borders.
I am seeing the party tonight. Many Kenyans, not only Kenyans, Kenyans and friends, they are enjoying.
Yeah.
The Association of Kenyans in Norway, its importance to Kenyans in uniting them as a people. Can you say you are succeeding in bringing these Kenyans together in this country?
Yes, Mr. Sami, you realize we are away from home. Association of Kenyans in Norway is our home away from home. This is where we meet, this is where we discuss, this is where we plan, this is where we organize our development projects that we want to bring home. We want to bring our country to the first world level.
Yes.
Now, what you're seeing out there, those people are not only Kenyans, it's the diaspora, it's the whole of the Caucasus, you can call it, the little Africa, the little Europe,
place
the
is
little
full.
America. It's full.
The house is full.
You saw it. There are so many people here. You have Ugandans, you have the whole of Africa represented, you have Norwegians, you have Scandinavians, the whole of Europe, there are people from all over. Now, this association is our uniting point. This is our meeting point. And it's very important for our identity. As I said earlier, if you don't know where you are going to, remember where you're coming from. This is the only way we can keep ourselves reminding ourselves of home. Never forget where you come from. Our development clothes should face and focus at home.
You mentioned identity. Before I go to my next question, I'm thinking now, when you mention identity, I'm thinking about our children.
Yes.
The Kenyan children, the African children.
Yes.
Children of all nations born in this country.
Yeah.
What does that say? What is happening tonight?
You realize the day started with the children's party. That was the day. We started at 2 o'clock. That was just purely for children.
Yes.
And we made it clear, children's first. And we had children from all over. It was a great magnitude of kids there. Running, playing, singing Kenyan songs, playing Kenyan games. It was so nice to see. Because what we are doing, this is a legacy. Yes. We have to carry it forward. When we got our independence, we had Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. He pushed it over, he left it over. The relay stick is moving on. It went to President Moi, it went to President Kibaki, now it's with President Uhuru. And Uhuru will give it to another person. And that's the way we develop. We have to develop the leaders of tomorrow, as we've been taught. Our children are the leaders of tomorrow. And if I show them this flag, which I walk with all the time, they will know that this one is Damu. And they are Kenyans.
What is Damu? Some people will listen to
blood,
this, they will not understand.
Your blood, your heart. This is where my heart, this is where my heart is.
The flag.
It is Kenya, the flag. If you look at Norway, children are so proud of the flag.
Yes.
And a national day like this, all children, they run with flags. Even toilet papers, all these serviettes, those are flag colors. People are happy to have that identity. Now, this is our identity. You are first a Kenyan, and a Kenyan tomorrow and a Kenyan yesterday, a Kenyan always. Once a Kenyan, always a Kenyan.
Now that you mentioned many, the president as Kenyatta, Jomo Kenyatta, Moi,
I'm proud of them.
And you mentioned President Uhuru Kenyatta, the newly elected president.
Yes.
Then it takes me to what happened recently.
Yeah.
President Uhuru Kenyatta, while in London recently, promised Kenyans in the diaspora that his government was going to establish a department that will work with the Kenyans in the diaspora.
Yes.
This, according to the way I look at it, is good news.
Yes.
What is your take on this?
I think for the first time they will have to listen to the diaspora, because if you look at our economy, the diaspora is pumping a lot of money into the country. And we need to have a focused department to deal with our issues, because the different things that Kenyans out here need from Kenya and wants to bring to Kenya. They need a place they can report to, a place which is coined and designed to understand the issues that affect Kenyans out here. Now, having last elections, the diaspora did not vote. We didn't vote.
Yeah.
That was already one thing that we were really looking forward to it. If we have a department, that will be taken care of. And I know it will be taken care of.
Yes.
If not the next elections, but the one after. Our issues, like the embassies, we want to form open embassies, all these honorary offices around the world. If we have our department, we will be chipping in information. Who is who? We will have a direct contact. An organization like AKIN, Association of Kenyans in Norway, would have somebody we can talk to Kenya. When a minister is coming from Kenya, or the president is coming around to Scandinavia, we'll have easy access.
By the way, he has moved very fast, because I saw yesterday in the Kenyan news, a woman in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and her name, I don't remember the name, but it says the diaspora chief.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Leave alone that. I want to be the diaspora minister. I want to sit there one day. We want to run Kenya both at home and abroad, because we understand the problems that people have at home looking at it from outside. Not that we can make it better, but we can see some things today that we can identify. And we also know the things that Kenyans outside also need. So when I sit in Kenya, I can tell you straight away, hey, this is something that we need to focus on for the Kenyans who are outside.
Now you are taking me to investment when you say that.
Yes.
How do you intend to use the organization to benefit Kenyans in Norway, who you lead, in establishing investments in Kenya with the help of that diaspora department which the president is establishing?
You see, we who are in the diaspora, we send a lot of money home, but most of it goes to families directly, or helping children in school and stuff like this. Now imagine if through the department we had like the Kenyan Association of Kenyans in Norway. We intend to have investment projects, and we have actually a department, a committee within our organization which deals specifically with investment, and they are looking not only in Kenya but also in Norway.
Now you are talking about your organization in Norway.
This is now what our organization is doing for the Kenyans here. How we can start channeling means and ways of organizing investment projects at home and here. With the department, we have a chance, because then we will tell them, look here, we have this amount of money. We want to invest in a building somewhere in Nairobi for the organization first, and then individuals buy shares from this. This is an idea that has been floated into this organization, and we are working on it. Now with the diaspora at home, it will be very easy for us, because then we will say, okay, this project is here. Now it is not only the AKIN project, but we have a Norwegian company. They want to bring some solar system or whatever system at home.
Yes.
Now we channel it through our department, is cleaned, checked, screened, and then we invest and it starts.
But when you say this about the members of the organization, they are going to benefit on this new department, investments and so on.
And mostly Kenyans at home.
Yes, I get it. But Association of Kenyans in Norway has members, like you know and I know.
Yeah.
But not all Kenyans are registered members in the association. What message then do you have for them? I'm now thinking of those who are still outside your organization and living in Norway.
Yeah. As long as you're a Kenyan, or a Kenyan, a friend of Kenya, one who can respect our rules and the constitution of the Association of Kenyans, it's open membership. Now for a Kenyan who is not yet a member, I won't blame them, because we are a very young organization. We've not celebrated our 5th anniversary. But look at the number of people who have registered in our organization. It is the fastest growing association of a foreign country today. I would sign on that in Norway. And we are injecting new people every single day. Even today, there are 5-6 people who came. They say, I don't want to just attend. I want to be a member. And one of them was not even a Kenyan. I want to be a member. Now, for those of you who are not yet members, Kenyans, I'm looking at you straight in your eye, and you're in Norway. The time is not late, and it will never be late. Once a Kenyan, you're a Kenyan. Now, the only way you can develop Kenya from outside is working together, being united. You can never change. Once you're born a Kenyan, you will always remain a Kenyan. Whichever the citizenship, whichever the address you're having, wherever you're living in the world, Kenya is number one in our heart. And through our association in Norway, you are always home, because we have contact with everybody, and this is where we meet. This is our identity in a foreign country.
Finally, Mr. Makosir, I will not keep you long now, because the party is going on, is full of people. You have a lot to manage.
You see how busy I am with them
out there. Yeah. What can you tell the government of Kenya, the new government? What do you want to see? The devolution. Let us wind up with that. The devolution, there's arguments, MPs, salaries, left and right. What can you tell them as a learned, educated person living in Europe?
I would tell our government today, the government of the day, that we have a constitution in that country. Our constitution is very clear. In many points, many areas, our constitution is perfectly well done and very clear. Now we have to implement that constitution to the letter. We have to work with insecurity to the letter. We have to make sure education, as promised, is perfectly followed up. MPs, salaries and everything, people will be paid according to what they do. There are rules and regulations that govern all this. They should be implemented to the letter. And then we have to work for peace and unite Kenyans as one people.
Thank you, Mr. Makosir, for enabling this interview to take place today. In fact, I should say tonight, because the dancing, people are enjoying, people are really celebrating the Madaraka Day, and we wish you well in leading this organization in Norway.
Thank you for having me.